used to. Just 6 and 21 coming in. As on the inbounds, Hampton finds Bruffy and Lubbock Christian on the board.
Well, Nicole Hampton's not only the Heartland Conference Player of the Year, but she is that gadget in your backpack that has a lot of components to it, can really do it all on the floor. One of the best scorers, one of the best rebounders, and is the top assist player in the Heartland on the women's side.
Just over 6 assists a game, just over 14 points a game to lead the Lady Chaparrals. 8 to shoot. Inside, they find V-Hill, who's off the mark, and Hampton gets the rebound. Hampton also averaging 7 boards a game to lead the squad. Fowler, shot falls and a foul. That's Haley Fowler, putting Lubbock Christian up top for the first time this afternoon.
Well, you knew it was only a matter of time before this team would work out the early kinks in the first 2 minutes offensively when they are right and the Pistons are firing for this Lady Chaps engine. They can score in bunches and go on big runs, and I'm talking about like 20-plus point runs for LCU.
Haley Fowler from Smyre, Texas, located just west of Lubbock. 3,852 points in her high school all-time in Texas. Shot clock did not start on the inbounds. A 5-2 lead now for the Lady Chaparrals as they've scored 5 straight. Their first Heartland Conference Tournament game. In fact, only 4 of these players have conference tournament experience coming in, and that was on the NAIA level. Good scrum as Hampton had the ball tied up, and it'll be Lubbock Christian ball.
You don't see that much. She fell to the floor and was trying to scrap for the basketball. She's usually the one that precipitates those kind of scrums. Neva Tato had her hands on the basketball, but Lubbock Christian comes away.
So here's Hampton, redshirt senior from Canyon, Texas. Both Chelsea Hopple last season as Lubbock Christian was not eligible for postseason play. Different here in 2016. Not only are they looking to win the conference tournament, but the national championship, ranked number 1 in the nation. With 10 to shoot, Schneider, the turnaround jumper, gives Lubbock Christian 7 straight.
And just a mid-range jump shot there for Kellen Schneider, who at times is not the best offensive post presence, but what she gives you is that big inside. You can at least try to go down inside and then work it back outside.
Press leads to the steal, and the layup good by Bruffy. Timeout, Permian Basin. 9 in a row for the top-ranked Lady Chaparrals.
Well, Bruffy is one who can step out and hit the 3, runs the a little bit better than Schneider. Schneider's that anchor low on the blocks for Lubbock Christian. Boy, do those 2 block shots on the defensive end as well.
Jerome Willis, head coach of Permian Basin, told us before the game that for the most part this season, he's been proud of his team spirit. Again, they're 6 and 21, such an uphill climb all season. They've been hurt by injuries, was disappointed in how they played the last couple of weeks. I think perhaps that time I just called is one to try to lift the spirits of this team, because potentially, as Lubbock Christian has done against just about every opponent this season, they've run away from their opponents.
Well, Permian Basin comes in average a little less than 59 points a game, David, and Lubbock Christian gives up like 52, so something there obviously has to give, and Lubbock Christian right now on a pretty decent run of 9-0.
The press out of the timeout. Hampton wrestles it away, and a quick jump ball call. Permian Basin keeps possession.
Just that length is so present, omnipresent, if you will, for Lubbock Christian, even at the guard spot. We talk about Hampton being the point guard, essentially, is about 5'10", you know, in terms of height, has the long arms, the reach. They're just so hard to break past once they put that full court press on you.
John A. Peavy wearing number 21 for the Falcons. 5'7" junior from Denver, Colorado checks in. And that might have been knocked off the Falcon last. It was. Taylor touched it last, and Steve Gomez's Lady Chaparrals get the ball back. Steve Gomez in his 13th season as a college basketball head coach, and all with Lubbock Christian. 306 victories. Before that, 7 seasons as the head coach of Cooper High School in Lubbock. This is Hopple wearing number 23. Bruffy up top now. 13 to shoot. Fowler finds Schneider. Hampton. 11 in a row for Lubbock Christian.
It's a soft touch on that jump shot. Coach's kid. There have been other Hamptons come through the Lubbock Christian program. So well schooled and coached, and you saw that mid-post move there for Lubbock Christian's Hampton. So lethal from all over the floor, not just dribbling the basketball, but can score on the outside as well.
She does a little bit of everything, but she doesn't need to do everything because of talent and depth on this team. Vigil, strong move to the hoop, and that breaks the 11-0 run.
I talked about Vigil early in the broadcast. She's going to have to pick it up on the offensive end for Permian Basin to have a chance.
Pass from Bruffy too high, and it's a Lady Chaparral turnover. Our first substitution for Lubbock Christian will bring in Allison Zabot, talented 6'2" junior forward from Merkel, Texas. Another one of those small towns in Texas where for so many years has been a hotbed for girls and women's hoops. Oh, very good off the bench. Lubbock Christian gets the steal. Fowler got her own rebound and a foul called. That's on Vigil. That is her first. 2 fouls on PV so far. Coming up to the halfway point of quarter number 1. Good ball movement. Blair Taylor wearing number 14 on the floor now for the Lady Chaparrals, but it's the 3 from the corner for Kelsey Hoppel. First 3 for Lubbock Christian. And turnover. I believe the inbounds pass was made with a foot of the baseline. His call for the turnover, but our crew will talk it over.
Well, those are the kind of mistakes, David, you can't have happen against obviously a top seed and #1 team in the country. If you're looking to pull off the massive upset, the officials confer briefly and then render the verdict.
Permian Basin will keep possession. Two-2-1 full court trap applied by Lubbock Christian here. Here comes the trap just ahead of midcourt. Yeah, I believe the ball just out of bounds. It'll still be Permian Basin possession.
How about Nicole Hampton? Good sportsmanship helping up the Permian Basin player that had fallen down there on that kick ball. Kill him with kindness, right?
Hampton, one of the 4 players, French tournament experience, 5th-year senior. PV finds Sierra Legrand for 3.
Yeah, transfer from within the conference, played at St. Mary's the last couple of years, and she is one of those that has the ability to knock down shots if they're open on the perimeter for Permian Basin.
Her 39th 3 of the season, and a carrying call on Zabot. Zabot, 7.5 points a game. Mentioned Blair as well on the floor at 3 points a game for Lubbock Christian. Taylor, senior from Plano, Texas, in the Dallas. Falcons have it within 7 and with possession. 2-3 zone applied by the Lady Chaparrals. Vigil moves it on Bruffy and got fouled. Steve Gomez disagrees, but this will be on Lubbock Christian.
Yeah, it looked like Bruffy had a part of the ball, but maybe some of the body as well there, if it does indeed go on Bruffy. Also, Zabot was down low trying to defend in the post.
First foul on the Lady Chaparrals today. And Vigil at the line, 51% this season. Here's the replay again. I think, as you said, mostly ball, part of the arm. 1 of 2 and Bruffy the board. Permian Basin applying pressure. Lubbock Christian's already used the timeout. Hampton just gets it to Bruffy, and they just get it across the timeline in time. Taylor. Hampton to the rim, short. And a foul on the rebound. That's on Vigil, that's her second. This Permian Basin team, trouble with their depth. 2 players, Catarina Rendon, Elisa Gonzalez out since mid-January, and now they have 2 players with 2 fouls.
Yeah, not in terms of the size match. Enough bigs to try to cover what Lubbock Christian can bring onto the floor with the height.
Allison Gordon checks in wearing number 14 for the Falcons, 6-foot senior from Chandler, Arizona. Hopple off the mark from long range. And an outlet pass to Victoria Lopez. That would have cut it to 4, but Permian Basin will still keep possession.
When she rushed that shot, just dipped in past the defender. I thought she had a chance to maybe slow down a little bit. Could have drawn contact if she hit the brakes on there and let the defender crash into her, but airbanked that shot with the finger roll just a little too strong. Right now, I've been impressed with Permian Basin's energy. They've used a little bit of that press from time to time that has, I think, surprised Lubbock Christian here at the start.
6-3 run has them within 6. Dangerous inbounds, but it finds the Falcons and Peavy. 18 to shoot. LeGrand save, 7 on the shot clock now. And Taylor with the block. Fowler to the rim. 5 in the early going for Haley Fowler. Permian Basin struggled from the floor this season, 36%. In fact, their best shooting percentage this year in a game, 46%. It came against the mid-January. However, they are 3 from the floor today, now 3 of 6 after LeGrand's off the mark from long range. Looking for Schneider and a foul. Disagrees, but this will be the first called on Gordon. 15 fouls, so 2 free throws coming for Kellen Schneider.
Lubbock Christian famously goes on a lot of three-point shooting barrages, but we haven't seen them hit a lot of jump shots past 15 feet so far. But that's what Permian Basin is, trying to cover right now, and they've had some inside opportunities. Permian Basin, I think, holding its own at the moment, but even with that said, still an 8-point early lead.
You just look at the floor. Look at Schneider, 6'5". No player on the floor in black close to that height. Gordon the rebound after Schneider misses them both.
Schneider, Texas Tech transfer, played basketball there in Lubbock, and her mother, a coach and a former player at Tennessee.
West Texas is just a factory for girls and women's basketball. V-Hill back in, Schneider gets the block, and it'll be Lubbock Christian basketball.
Well, that's what they do so well defensively. Cover on the wings, and then in the post right there, they try to work it inside. There's not much of an advantage or positive with Permian Basin trying to go down on the blocks right now.
V-Hill at 5'10", Schneider 6'5". Permian Basin a 2-1-2 look. Fowler. Taylor the board. Inside feed, Hampton.
How pretty is that? Good basketball movement inside from paint touch to paint touch there on the assist. Hampton finishes it.
Permian Basin hasn't looked bad at all, but they're down 10.
It's what Lubbock Christian does to you.
83 points a game for the Lady Chaparrals, allowing 52. Tough runner by Gordon. Permian Basin gets back, and Taylor will slow it down, coming up to the 1-minute mark in quarter number 1. Zabot. That is her range, although she's short on that shot, and here comes Shanda Taylor. Neva Tato wearing number 5. Scoreless so far today, 13 points a game coming in.
I think she needs to shoot the basketball a little bit more, especially in this kind of environment with this game against the best team in the conference and the country.
Zabot again from the short corner. 0 for 2. About a 3-second differential, shot clock and game clock. And Tato will take her time. First chance at an NCAA tournament for Lubbock Christian, made it to the NAIA semifinals in 2012. They have finished their transition to NCAA Division II. 4 to shoot, and now Lubbock Christian with the chance after the Hampton steal. Hampton to Taylor. And for all of Permian Basin's efforts, they're still down a dozen through the game's first 10 minutes. 20-8, top-ranked team in the country on top. The quarterfinals of the Heartland Conference Women's Basketball Tournament in Tulsa.
The academics at LCU, they're very strenuous, but they're worthwhile.
I would honestly say that the academics are top-notch. Being in small classrooms and getting to have those personal relationships with your professors really enhances the academic environment and academic experience. It's very easy to learn when you have professors who genuinely know you and genuinely care about your growth intellectually.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable, as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in winning or losing.
Sportsmanship is a key value found within St. Edward's University Athletic.
How do you play?
Fairness.
Honesty.
Respect.
Playing sports gives us
Character.
Friendship.
Strength. Respect the players.
Respect the coaches.
Respect the officials.
respect the game.
We are.
We are.
And we welcome you back to the UMAC, the site of the 2016 Heartland Conference Tournament. Right now, Lubbock Christian leading 20-8. Let's send it back courtside to Dave and Sean. Guys.
All right, thanks, Drew Brent. Drew Brent on the sidelines throughout this entire tournament. David Salzman alongside Sean Tiemann, the first of 14 games here over 4 days. We'll wrap it up with a men's championship game Sunday at approximately 3:30. Everyone expecting this Lubbock Christian team to play in the first game on Sunday. #1 ranked team in the nation, and up 20-8 as we've just begun quarter number 2.
Yeah, and a lot of those points because of Lubbock Christian's defense, 11-1 in points off turnovers. 6 steals for Lubbock already, just 1 for Texas Permian Basin. Permian Basin, I was surprised, came out to start the game at a press. Lubbock Christian could do this press the entire game. I don't know that Permian Basin could do that.
Good point. Lubbock Christian with a definite depth advantage here. 2 Falcons already with 2 fouls. Vigil and Peavy both on the floor. From the elbow, LaGrange unable to get the roll and a foul on the board. That's on Peavy. That's her third. Kayla White will check in for her. Looking for Schneider inside, and Taylor knocks it out of bounds.
One thing I thought about going into the tournament today and tomorrow for the men's first round quarterfinal matchups, that noon game during a weekday. These teams play night games on Thursdays in conference, so you wonder with this noon start, maybe Lubbock Christian came out a little bit slow.
Hopple, her second three. Christian pouring it on.
It's one of those two with Hampton, redshirted last year so they could be a part of this atmosphere and a chance to play in an NCAA national tournament at the Division II level. They have a chance to win the whole thing.
No doubt, as Permian Basin turns it over for the 8th time. Lady Chaparrals are in the NCAA tournament regardless. And we asked Scott Gomez about this. He thinks even if they lose here in Tulsa, they should still host the regional. Lubbock Christian undefeated, second-ranked team in the South Central Regionals. West Texas A&M with 3 losses. Still, who's going to beat this team, which is only won 2 of their games by single digits. The other 24 by double figures, and 22 of those by 20 or more.
Yeah, that margin of victory is so impressive for Lubbock Christian. Rogers State in the conference, a home league matchup, lowest league margin of victory. Yep. It was at 9. Fort Lewis, they beat 82-76, a 6-point margin of victory. So, yeah, this Lubbock Christian team just dominating most.
Haley Fowler called for the foul, and the Falcons with a basketball and another turnover. Hampton another steal. The outlet to Hopple. 8 for Kelsey Hopple.
Yeah, those two are always, it seems, on the same page, and they were right there again with Hampton, that hit ahead and the lay-in.
Timeout, Permian Basin. Lubbock Christian, #1 in the nation and dominating in Tulsa.
to have had the opportunity to attend a university that cares so much about community, about students, and really does give back in a way that can't be matched around the nation.
Lubbock Christian 2 of 3 from the floor to start the quarter. And it is 25-8 Lady Chaparrals over the Falcons of Texas Permian Basin. Winner of this game gets the winner of our nightcap, 4-seed Oklahoma Christian, 5-seed St. Mary's. Very few think that Lubbock Christian won't make the championship game, if not, of course, win it all, #1 in the nation and 26-0. Who will face them, though, on Sunday is very much up in the air. Really from 2 all the way down to 6, maybe 7. Newman had a very good weekend coming in here to Tulsa. Toss-up as far as who may make the championship game on Sunday and play these Lady Chaparrals of Lubbock Christians, able to win today and Friday.
Arkansas Fort Smith, co-regular season champs last year, went on to win the Heartland Conference tournament, but they did that with Lubbock Christian not being a participant in the postseason league tournament. So a little bit different animal that Fort Smith is dealing with, even though they had a real good season here in 2015-16.
Well, you mentioned the only win by single digits in conference for Lubbock Christian came against Rogers State, who was ineligible to make this tournament, still transitioning from NAIA. Lubbock Christian's last regular season game, they were taken to late in the 4th by Texas A&M International, won by 13 at home on Saturday. A&M International, the 3 seed, will take on St. Edwards later today.
Which A&M International, one of my 2 sleepers here at the tournament. People are always looking for those underdogs, right, that could potentially pull off an upset. The other is Oklahoma Christian because of their offense. I like what they do under Stephanie Findley, longtime veteran head coach at Oklahoma Christian.
A&M International, 2 of the best scorers in the Heartland, and Kiki Matthews and Jessica Prieto. Foul on the rebound down low is on Tess Bruffy, and that's her second. Permian Basin has missed their last 5. They're down to 3 of 11 shooting. Lubbock Christian, 11 of 20. And Vigil didn't see the pass coming. Bruffy did, and she has the steal. Inside Fowler to Bruffy, 2 more.
Well, such great movement without the basketball by Bruffy, but heads up everywhere, looking for a feed. Nobody, should have their heads down, running around on the perimeter. When you play for Lubbock Christian and Coach Steve Gomez, you have to be ready to catch the basketball at all moments.
Turnover again, that's number 10 on Permian Basin. Permian Basin had it to within 14-8 and with the ball, but since then a 13-0 Lubbock Christian run.
We talked about the spurts they can go on, and this is one right here where, in this first half, there's still plenty of time left for Permian Basin, but you start getting buried under that avalanche of points, and it starts to look bleak for your team.
7 assists for Lubbock Christian. They had 31 in their win over Permian Basin back on February the 20th, won at 109-56.
Such a sharing group.
They have faith in each other, that's for sure. 3 off the mark by LeGrand. Outlet Hampton, Bailey Heiss, that's too high.
I think the hurdle that they had to overcome early in the season after they played an exhibition game at UConn, Division I, obviously UConn, one of the best programs in the history of women's college basketball. But after that, going into the regular season, I think the question mark would be, how would the other players who saw a lot more time last year respond to the return of the 2 best guards on the roster in Howell and Hampton? And I thought it was seamless right from the start of the season.
Scott Gomez even mentions how unselfish his team has been with those red shirts returning as Blair Taylor can complete the 3-point play after the foul. Because a number of players, as you just mentioned, Sean, a lot more playing time last season than this season with those seniors returning. But he says this has been a very unselfish group as we see Blair Taylor take it to the rim.
But I would contend that's a hallmark of his programs over the years. When they were in NAIA and now into NCAA Division II.
Short on the free throw. 15-0 Lubbock Christian run. Tato still off the board. Hoppel trying to chase the board down, and she does. Tied up, however. It'll be Permian Basin basketball. Tiana Edmonroe forcing the jump. Rather, I apologize, Taylor Gass, freshman from Gale, Texas. We're in number 1 on the floor. $18 to shoot, still Permian Basin ball. That's again a 15-0 Lubbock Christian run. Permian Basin's missed their last 7. And also turnovers, they're up to 12. Permian Basin averaging just over 18 turnovers a game coming in. A lot different against this Lubbock Christian defense. Schneider thought she got all ball, but she'll be called for the foul. Vigil to the line.
Imagine the kind of ground Lubbock Christian covers in the man-to-man, but even more so when they're in a zone because of all the length on the perimeter. And it forced the penetration there, as you see on the replay. I thought looked like a clean block from here.
Pretty close. One more coming for Vigil. He's 1 of 3 off the line so far today. Can't get the lucky roll and Taylor the board. Zabo, 2 and a foul. Her first 2.
Somehow able to muscle that up over the defender who was impeding her progress. Zabo is one of those players who had a better season in terms of numbers and stats last year on her line, and has had her playing time limited this year because of the return of those 2 guards, but she continues to come off the bench and be a big-time producer for Coach Gomez and Lubbock Christian.
7.5 points a game. Lubbock Christian struggling from the line today. And a good free throw shooting team overall are the Lady Chaparral, 75%. In traffic, well short. Scott Gomez says the biggest surprise this season is that no one on his team has surprised us. Says they've had a group of players for the most part that have played up to their potential. And to your point about the red shirts coming back, they've remained unselfish and have played with great unity. You can tell just the old cliche, 5 as 1, and they work as a unit better than any team in the Heartland up to this point, that's for sure. 18-0 in Heartland play, 26-0 overall.
And in their first provisional year, a couple of years ago, ran through the Heartland Conference undefeated. First ever go-round.
Inside feed, and the run ends. That's a nice assist by Brianna Millett as she finds Allison Gordon. Schneider got the roll.
How about the crisp passing from Lubbock Christian there? Those are just fundamental players that are schooled from elementary days on into their collegiate basketball careers at Lubbock Christian. And I think when they arrive on campus at Lubbock Christian for Coach Gomez, they already are good at what we just saw.
And you know what? They're short passes because these players know what to do without the ball. They get themselves in position for the catch and shoot. Tato on the board, her first points.
Finally, here's a player that can hit from 3, 36% on the year, 13 a game.
Her 60th 3 of the season. Hoppel unable to answer, and Millett with the board.
Now, Tato's going to have to start picking up the offensive slack right now for Texas Permian Basin.
$12 to shoot. Lopez controlling. We mentioned the length in that zone makes for tough passes, although they find the open player in the corner, or the wing rather, but Gass off the mark. And here comes Taylor. Now 3 off the mark from Heist, and it'll be Permian Basin ball.
You see Lubbock Christian struggling a little bit shooting the basketball from the perimeter. Some of that may be the new environment. None of these teams have ever played here at what is known as the UMAC on the campus of Union High School in Tulsa. And it's a premium place to watch or play basketball. And it's a high school gym, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Now, there have been some college tournaments here before, but this beats some Division I venues.
Yeah, you think they have a little money here? This is a gorgeous facility. And will host this Heartland Conference tournament for 3 seasons. They'll go through 2018 on its current contract. It's what you can't do against the zone. That cross-court pass, Hoppel the tip, and here she comes. It leaves Zabo open. She has that range, although she's short there. Hampton fighting for it and saves it to Fowler. Zabo again. Another offensive rebound by Hampton. Misses the follow. Fourth chance coming. Bobby Chitzi on the floor for the first time. She'll go to the line.
Well, that's pretty amazing what they just did there. And some of that was Nicole Hampton, just the grit and determination. If you can't grab it with two hands, try to redirect it somewhere back behind to a teammate.
How many teams do you see your starting point guard lead the squad in offensive boards?
I was going to say she's almost like the Maya Moore of Division II basketball this year, but then I think what is more appropriate is comparing her to the NBA great Magic Johnson, because Hampton could play all 5 positions on the floor for Lubbock Christian if it was necessary.
Chitzi 3.5 points a game from Wall, Texas. That's just outside St. Angelo. If you don't know where St. Angelo is, it's a few hours south of Lubbock. 1 of 2 at the line. Nine to shoot. Good feed inside. And it'll be free throws coming for Gordon. Nice pass for Millet.
Quick touch pass there down low through the lane by Millet. Thought that was going to result in points, but it may here eventually anyway, with Permian Basin going to the free throw line. Just not much of a scoring presence inside for Permian Basin.
This is a well-coached group for Permian Basin. As mentioned, Jerome Willis's 4th season here. And Falcons have already made 2 Heartland Conference Championship games, losing them both, and making the NCAA tournament in Willis's first season in 2013. Won a game defeating Abilene Christian in the first round, and ACU is 1 win away from an outright Southland Conference Championship on D1 in just their 3rd year of Division I play. Another one of these West Texas powerhouses on the women's level. Under 2 minutes to go, first half. Good ball movement and patience again. Hampton from the wing. Out of bounds off Chitzi.
Hard to imagine with a 20-point lead, just a little less than 2 minutes before halftime, that Lubbock Christian has not found a rhythm from 3.
Yeah, they're 2 of 10 from beyond the arc. Permian Basin 2 of 8 from long range. Points off turnovers, 18-1. Big difference in this one. Taylor short. Our next game, the 2 seed Fort Smith, the 7 seed Newman. Good high-low feed, Chitzi to Stabo.
Now their passing is probably their best asset offensively, because they just see the floor so well. Players cutting, moving without the basketball makes a big difference.
10 assists as a team so far for the Lady Chaparrals. Looking for the high-low and inside, finding Gordon. Good anticipation from Fowler, but it sets up the long-range shot from Taylor, who's off the mark. 3-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Hampton will let some ticks run off. Hampton, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Here she is with 4 to shoot. Moving on LeGrand with 1 to shoot. Give Hampton the assist. Hoppel her 4th field goal, and that'll do it in the first half.
Now, nicely done by Hoppel. Not much movement right there when I had just praised their movement without the basketball. Hoppel found an open crease and cut in the lane, and Hampton with the assist to end it.
8 Lady Chaparrals score. Hoppel leads them with 10. And the first half goes pretty much as expected. The #1 ranked team in the nation, Lubbock Christian, dominating in their quarterfinal matchup here in Tulsa. 38-14 the score.
Division II student athletes have the opportunity to make their Conference. Get in the game. Heartland Conference. Get in the game.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of coming to LCU is priceless. I mean, you get to work around professionals who love you dearly, who love what they're doing, and to put those two together, you can't put a price on it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
We are here today in the Rip Griffin Center at the men's and women's basketball games, and we presented a wish to Angel Martinez. We brought him in as our guest. Throughout the whole game, we would have little contests and things that he would win. Our first surprise was to do a name drawing, and then he got a signed basketball from our basketball players. Our second surprise for Angel was he got to go on the court and drive a remote control car into each Star Wars figure, and every one that he hit, he got a prize. And then his final surprise was a fake costume contest, which it was actually his wish reveal that we got to grant him.
So everybody thinks this is a costume contest, but it actually isn't. We're actually here for someone much more special to us. So that special someone is Angel Martinez. You're going to Legoland!
The best part about this is that all of the athletes and a lot of the community here at LSU get to come together and work really hard to raise this money just so that we can make someone's day extremely special.
When you meet a St. Mary's graduate, when you meet anybody that has any sort of involvement with St. Mary's, you'll see that they're all good people. In fact, they're great people that care about the community, that care about what they do on a daily basis. And I'm proud to have had the opportunity to attend a university that cares so much about community, about students, and really does give back in a way that can't be matched around the nation.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable, as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in winning or losing.
Sportsmanship is a key value found within St. Edward's University Athletic.
How do you play?
Fairness.
Honesty.
Respect.
Playing sports gives us
Character.
Friendship.
Strength. Respect the players.
Respect the coaches.
Respect the officials.
respect the game.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are St. Edward's University.
We respect the game. It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you play the game.
The first step to discovering the world starts by discovering who you are and who God created you to be. You have the potential to change the world by learning how to serve the world. We can show you how. Dallas Baptist University, developing servant leaders, transforming lives.
You are a collection of moments, ambition, lessons, and ideas. Learning isn't buildings or borders. It goes beyond the classroom to places you never imagined. What you do with it makes all the difference in the world. Discover a more dynamic you, a more employable you. Discover the international you at Texas A&M International University.
The academics at LCU, they're very strenuous, but they're worthwhile.
I would honestly say that the academics are top-notch. Being in small classrooms and getting to have those personal relationships with your professors really enhances the academic environment and academic experience. It's very easy to learn when you have professors who genuinely know you and genuinely care about your growth intellectually.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Do you want to do it for LCU? Just put LCU up there twice? One more. Need to do it for permanent too.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Heartland Conference. Get in the game. Heartland Conference. Get in the game.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of coming to LCU is priceless. I mean, you get to work around professionals who love you dearly, who love what they're doing, and to put those two together, you can't put a price on it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
We are here today in the Rip Griffin Center at the men's and women's basketball games, and we presented a wish to Angel Martinez. We brought him in as our guest. Throughout the whole game, we would have little contests and things that he would win. Our first surprise was to do a name drawing, and then he got a signed basketball from our basketball players. Our second surprise for Angel was he got to go on the court and drive a remote control car into each Star Wars figure, and every one that he hit, he got a prize. And then his final surprise was a fake costume contest, which it was actually his wish reveal that we got to grant him.
So, everybody thinks this is a costume contest, but it actually isn't. We're actually here for someone much more special to us. So, that special someone is Angel Martinez. You're going to Legoland!
The best part about this is that all of the athletes and A lot of the community here at LCU get to come together and work really hard to raise this money just so that we can make someone's day extremely special.
When you meet a St. Mary's graduate, when you meet anybody that has any sort of involvement with St. Mary's, you'll see that they're all good people. In fact, they're great people that care about the community, that care about what they do on a daily basis. And I'm proud to have had the opportunity to attend a university that cares so much about community, about students, and really does give back in a way that can't be matched around the nation.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in winning or losing.
Sportsmanship is a key value found within St. Edward's University Athletic.
How do you play?
Fairness,
Honesty.
respect. Playing sports gives us
Character.
Friendship.
Strength. Respect the players.
Respect the coaches.
Respect the officials.
respect the game.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are St. Edward's University.
We respect the game. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
The first step to discovering the world starts by discovering who you are and who God created you to be. You have the potential to change the world by learning how to serve the world. We can show you how. Dallas Baptist University, developing servant leaders, transforming lives.
You are a collection of moments, ambition, lessons, and ideas. Learning isn't buildings or borders. It goes beyond the classroom to places you never imagined. What you do with it makes all the difference in the world. Discover a more dynamic you, a more employable you. Discover
Perfect.
The international you at Texas A&M International University.
We welcome you back to the UMAC in Tulsa, Oklahoma. David Salzman, Sean Tiemann, and Drew Brent. Lubbock Christian, #1 ranked team in the nation, 26-0, dominating Texas Permian Basin by a score of 38-14. Lady Chaparrals, 49% shooting. Permian Basin, 5 of 20, 25%. Also, Lubbock Christian with a +9 edge on the boards. But the big edge in two areas, Sean, points in the paint, 28-4 for Lubbock Christian, and points off turnovers, 18-1.
Yeah, and some of that has come in transition with the fast break points, but second chance points as well, won by Lubbock Christian by a wide margin. 10 steals of the first half for LCU. While they're not shooting the basketball as well as they would like from three-point range, just 2 of 11 for 18%. Talk about the points in the paint, 28-4, points off turnovers, 18-1. That, if I do math quickly in my head, is 46-5. Just dominating in those realms.
Individually, Kelsey Hopple leads all scorers with 10. 4 Permian Basin players with 3 points in the first half, including their leading scorer coming in Neva Tato. 38-14. It is Lubbock Christian over Texas Permian Basin. The winner advancing to the semifinals of the Heartland Conference Women's Basketball Tournament on Friday afternoon. We'll have the second half of action right after this.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of
Saturday
coming to
afternoon.
LCU is priceless. I mean, you get to work
Saturday
with
afternoon, not
professionals
Friday
who
afternoon.
love you dearly.
What did you say?
who love
I
what
said
they're
the
doing, and to
semifinals
put those two
Friday
together,
afternoon.
you can't
Saturday.
play it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
The first step to discovering the world starts by discovering who you are and who God created you to be. You have the potential to change the world by learning how to serve the world. We can show you how. Dallas Baptist University, developing servant leaders, transforming lives.
And we welcome you back to Tulsa, Oklahoma at the UMAC side of the 2016 Heartland Conference Tournament. In second half action, 38-14, number 1 Lubbock Christian over UTPB. Let's send it back courtside to Dave and Sean. Guys.
All right, thanks so much, Drew. Lubbock Christian with the ball first. And a Lady Chaparral victory. If they, of course, can hold on, they'll play Saturday, not Friday, Saturday at noon in the first semifinal. Permian Basin and their Road Blacks looking for the big comeback against the Lady Chaparral team that has only needed to win 2 of their 26 games by single digits this season. They have been dominant. 2 blocks by Schneider. And here comes Kelsey Hompel. The feed inside, Fowler unable to finish. Quick 3 for Taylor. Second 3, or third rather, of the afternoon for UT Permian Basin.
A little transition action there for Texas Permian Basin, and a good look on the right wing, able to knock it down. They need more of those shots to fall, obviously.
Permian Basin hung tough for most of the first quarter. They had it within 14-8 and with the basketball, but before you knew it, a 17-0 run that extended into the second quarter, and Lubbock Christian has been up by a bunch ever since.
Yeah, down 6 at 14-8. Had a chance to cut it to 4 with an opportunity on a fast break layup attempt that just went over the front of the rim.
After the Victoria Lopez foul, Schneider, her 3rd field goal off the inbounds.
That's a bonus if you can have Schneider hitting shots from anywhere about 12 to 15 feet out. That's probably within what she can do. Her range is mostly closer to the bucket. They don't rely on her for offense, though. She is relied on for defense, good outlet passes, offensive rebounding. She does that well also for Lubbock Christian.
Yeah, pretty nice when you have a 6'5" player you don't have to rely on for offense. 6.5 a game coming in, 6 points, 5 rebounds today. She altered that shot by Vigil and a foul down low. That'll be on Fowler, and that is her 3rd. First Heartland Conference tournament for Lubbock Christian, finishing their 2-year transition from NAIA to the NCAA Division II level. And here they are, top seed here and the number 1 team in the nation. Their men's team is the 2 seed. They'll play at 2:30 tomorrow against Newman. Newman, the 7th seed, both the women and the men. Long 3, Tato. And a foul on Permian Basin on the board. I think that's on Vigil, her 3rd.
Lubbock Christian missed a box out previously, and on that sequence, able to cover defensively like you know they can.
2 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Easy time breaking the pressure. Blair Taylor, one of their valuable players. Won't see a lot of playing time, but will do things like that, finding Hampton, who misses the short-range jumper. Nice feed inside to Vigil, and she'll go to the line. That's the 2nd foul on Schneider and the 2nd of the quarter for Lubbock Christian. Vigil 1 of 4, now 1 of 5 from the line today. There's a team, Permian Basin, 2 of 7. Lubbock Christian, who came in 75% from the stripe, just 2 of 8 from the line this afternoon. Tough uphill climb for Permian Basin. For more on that, let's go to Drew.
Well, guys, talking to them out at the break, one of the big things that this coaching staff was emphasizing was we've got to make shots. I mean, this is the number 1 team in the country. You've got to get some buckets to fall. The other thing is making better choices, and they will say this, that positively out of that first half, defensively, they really felt like they were holding Lubbock Christian to a much better game than they have in the previous 2 outings. So, guys, definitely some things to build on, but a lot of frustration on the sideline.
Thank you, Drew. I think that's a fair point because we mentioned the points off turnovers. A lot of Lubbock Christian's points in that first half coming off of turnovers. Permian Basin's half-court defense pretty good in half number 1. Bruffy gets the block after her 3 on the other end, which was her 27th of the year for the 6'4" sophomore from Lubbock. Again, good ball movement, and Hampton, the pretty move to the rim. Just that little hesitation. 6 points, 7 boards, 5 assists for Hampton.
Just the ability to knife inside and took that pass. She was about mid-post, able to split defenders and work it to the right block where she had an easy 2.
Taylor wanted to go for the steal, then tried to hold up, but her momentum forced her into Taylor. Shanna Taylor and Blair Taylor's picked up her first. Extending that 1-3-1 zone, Hopple between the circles with Tato dribbling. Tato to the rim and too much length. Schneider another block.
Yeah, it's hard when you're only 5'3" going inside among the tall trees for Lubbock Christian.
Unofficially 5 blocks now for Schneider. 8 to shoot. 2 to shoot now. Tato has to hurry and does, and got it.
It appeared she was, from our vantage point, going to look to pass inside, but then had a notion to send it up with that shot clock dwindling down, able to score flat-footed even.
Her second field goal, and that ball deflected, no over and back. 15 to shoot still for Lubbock Christian. Schneider to Hampton, to the rim again, and 2 more.
Such an ultimate slasher as well. When she needs to go inside with her length, gives them another opportunity to score the basketball without having to just dump it down inside to a big on the block.
V-Hill, another block for Schneider. Taylor, short on the layup. (47-20) Lubbock Christian. 2-0 against Permian Basin coming in. Margins of 36 and 53 points. Victoria Lopez well off, and Hampton another board. Sean, we're getting into triple-double territory potentially for Hampton. 8 points, 8 boards, 6 assists with 4:42 to go in the third. Now she's in double figures in scoring.
They really look to find her, don't they, with Schneider down on the block, back to the basket, and here comes Hampton right down the middle of the paint, and she is no stranger to double-doubles and has had even some triple-doubles in her career.
Her last double-double came a 28-point win against the 2 seed, Arkansas Fort Smith. 22 points, 12 boards, 8 assists. She's been close to that triple-double. 21 points, 9 boards, 8 assists at Rogers State January 14th. But she does not have a triple-double this year. Schneider from the free throw line.
She's really on the mark with that elbow jump shot here this afternoon. At times you see her struggle with her shot past 12 feet, but today it's been on the mark for Schneider.
31-point edge, top-ranked team in the nation, Lubbock Christian, showing why here in Tulsa.
National sponsor of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. NCAA Division II members across the country are working hard to make a difference in the lives.
Lubbock Christian 6 of 11 shooting this half. Permian Basin 2 of 12, and what was a 24-point halftime lead is ballooned to 31 for Scott Gomez's Lady Chaparrals, 51-20.
Yeah, they've started to hit some more shots, 15 feet and out. Had a 3 go down in that third quarter. I'd expect them to keep shooting the basketball well here the rest of the second half.
Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the third. Lubbock Christian on their way, it seems, to win number 27 in a row for this season. 3:49 to go in the third, and now they call a media timeout on the floor. So we'll take it with them, a 31-point edge for the Lady Chaparrals.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of coming to LCU is priceless.
This is
I mean, you get to work around professionals who love you dearly, who love what they're doing, and to put those two together, you can't put a price on it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
We are here today in the Rip Griffin
Lubbock
Center
Christian, one of
at
two
the
undefeated teams in the nation, and dominating here in our first game of the Heartland Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. 51-20 the score. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Limestone College, the other undefeated team, at 28-0. They're ranked number 2 in the nation. Blair Taylor off the mark from long range. Lady Chaparrals leading the nation in scoring margin, 30.5 points. Came in 7th in the nation in offense, just under 83 a game. 2nd in the nation in scoring defense, just giving up 52 points a contest.
We talked a little in the first half, David, about their prospects for this tournament being really, really good, but then moving on into hosting South Central Regional, and then how far can they advance? That becomes the next question for Lubbock Christian at the Division II National Tournament.
That South Central Region is going to be loaded because, you know, West Texas A&M will be there. Angelo State will be there. A team Permian Basin defeated early this season. Their best win, which came way back on December the 17th, but Angelo State ranked 3rd in the region. So it'll be tough for Lubbock Christian to get out of that region, but of course the expectation's high, and certainly with their number 1 ranking and undefeated record, thought is that they can go all the way as Millett cuts the deficit to 29.
What makes all that even more interesting is a lot of these players grew up in the same areas, same region of West Texas or the Panhandle, so they played against each other. You talk about West Texas A&M, it's not that far up the road in Canyon. Canyon, Texas is where Nicole Hampton grew up and played high school basketball.
Hampton with a 3, 13 points, 10 boards, 6 assists for Hampton. The 3rd Hampton to play in a Lubbock Christian uniform. They have all been tremendous. I won't say that scheduling opponents is easy, but I'd like to see West Texas A&M and Angelo State on the Lubbock Christian schedule.
Yeah, the limited number of games and non-conference games, even with such a heavy conference schedule, 18 games. Some leagues even play 20 or 22 conference games. But you're right, it would be nice to have some kind of early season matchup with local in-area or in-region teams matching up. Now they do a lot of those conference challenges at the D2 level, so you'll see that from time to time.
Off the window, Blair Taylor looks up at the sky and says, I didn't mean to do that, but she'll take the 3.
I thought they might shoot it better from 3 in the second half, but not in that manner.
Now 4 of 15 from beyond the arc, 2 of 4 this half for Lubbock Christian. They are up 35, and the miscommunication leads to the turnover. Points off turnovers remain 18-1, which it was at halftime. So Lubbock Christian's extended this lead just with their half-court offense. They've been better in their half-court in quarter number 3.
Yeah, a little more impressive. They've gained some footing here at the start of this second half compared to that first half. I thought they looked sluggish, even moving the basketball, except maybe later in that second quarter they started to work out the kinks, but they've really come out firing here in this third.
Scott Gomez beginning to go deeper into his bench. Claire Bruffy, 5'9" junior from Lubbock on the floor wearing number 4. Hannah Harbin, 5'10 junior from Lubbock, wearing number 15. And Allie Harris, 5'8 junior from Argyle, Texas, wearing number 21, all on the floor for the team in white. And the big block by Zabo, 15 to shoot. Long 3 off the mark from Tato. And the rebound into the hands of Harris.
You know, what helps this Lubbock Christian team and all of these blowout wins they've had is you bring in these players off the bench and you can rest your starters or your top 8, top 9.
Harris for 3, her first points.
I hate to say it's a system for Coach Steve Gomez, but they bring in players off the deep end of the bench, and those players still hit shots.
Well, there's no question about any of these players' roles. They accept it. Scott Gomez saying how unified this team has been all season long, and players like Allie Harris averaging 6.5 minutes a game, relishing anytime she can get on the floor. She's involved in that good ball movement to Fowler and finally to Zabo. 62-22 as we wind up the third quarter. 4 seconds, and will they even get a shot off? Millet won't, and that'll do it. Lowest points allowed by Lubbock Christian this season, 34. That was against Permian Basin on January 21st. This afternoon in Tulsa, holding them to 22 through 3 quarters and up 40, rolling at the Heartland Tournament.
When you meet a St. Mary's graduate, when you meet anybody that has any sort of involvement with St. Mary's, you'll see that they're all good people. In fact, they're great people that care about the community, that care about what they do on a daily basis. And I'm proud to have had the opportunity to attend a university that cares so much about community, about students, and really does give back in a way that can't be matched around the nation.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in winning or losing.
Sportsmanship is a key value found within St. Edward's University Athletic.
How do you play?
Fairness.
Honesty.
Respect. Playing sports gives us
Character.
Friendship.
Strength. Respect the players.
Respect the coaches.
Respect the officials.
respect the game.
David Salzman, Sean Tiemann, Drew Brent, first of 4 today, and as expected, Lubbock Christian, top-ranked team in the nation, dominant. Despite the Neva Tato 3, her second on the day. Texas Permian Basin, the 8th seed, down 62-25 as we've just begun quarter number 4.
I thought we'd see Neva Tato shoot more perimeter jump shots, especially from three-point range. When she sets her feet, can really shoot the basketball and go on some good scoring binges for Permian Basin. It just hasn't materialized today.
2 threes today, 61 of the season for Tato. She'll be back next year, a junior, but back in the Lone Star Conference. This will be the last Heartland Conference game for Permian Basin women's basketball. They are adding football and on their way to the Lone Star next year.
Yeah, that's mainly because the Lone Star Conference did not just want to only add them for football like they did recently with Panhandle State. They wanted to bring the entire Permian Basin athletic department on board, and I think that's probably a good move if you are going to focus on football. And when you have Division II football, you do have to focus on it.
Tato, another 3. She's now 4 of 9 from the floor. And it's 62-28, first 6 of the quarter for Texas Permian Basin. Olivia Robertson on the floor for the Lady Chaparrals, wearing number 20, freshman from Kerrville, Texas. Good move to the other side of the rim for Fowler.
We'll see a relative of Fowler's on the Lubbock Christian men's basketball roster. Boy, has he gone on a double-double tear as of late for Lubbock Christian, who finishes as one of the top teams during the regular season in the Heartland Conference on the men's side.
When you talk about adjusting to your role, Haley Fowler, senior now, and she's had a great career with Lubbock Christian, but 3,852 points in her high school career in Smyer, Texas, second most in Texas history.
That's almost 1,000 points a season. Some don't have that in their entire 4-year career.
It's amazing. And yet here she is one of the key players for this Lady Chaparral club. And accepted that role as they all have here. Here she is, stepping back. Thought she'd take the three. She'll drive instead on V-Hill, and she may get three the old-fashioned way.
Well, she's not the primary scorer for this team, but can be if needed, and would be on a lot of other teams in this conference and in Division II women's hoops.
9 points a game for Fowler. And now with 9 today, V-Hill has fouled out. And so the junior from Denver, Khadijah V-Hill, leaving with 4 points and 7 rebounds. 67-28 the score. Permian Basin, 10 of 41 shooting, 24%. Which leads me, Sean, to my favorite Lubbock Christian stat. Now this is season stat coming in. Opponents had missed 314 more shots than Lubbock Christian had coming in 26 games. Yet opponents only had grabbed 2 more offensive rebounds, which tells you how dominant Lubbock Christian has been on the defensive end of the floor, preventing second opportunities.
Well, I thought, weren't real efficient in that first quarter, but since then, they've been more efficient offensively, and they're starting to hit shots here in the second half. This is more like the Lubbock Christian team that we've come to know.
Hannah Harbin from up top. Junior from Lubbock on the board.
So many interchangeable parts for Lubbock Christian. Harbin doesn't take a lot of shots, but she can be a pretty decent three-point marksman.
10 Lady Chaparrals have scored. Harris chases down the rebound after the Tato miss. So this is an unusual bracket in that, you know, typically the next game will be the 4 or 5 matchup, since this is 1 and 8, but the 4 or 5 matchups are nightcap between Oklahoma Christian and St. Mary's. Next matchup will be the 2-7 game, Fort Smith and Newman. Fort Smith, the tournament defending champions, and again the 2 seed, coming in with a 12-6 conference mark, an overall record of 20-8. Gets a Newman team coming off their best weekend in quite a while. Blew out St. Edwards and Permian Basin at home up in Wichita, Kansas over the weekend, but injuries have really ravaged them. 3 of their key players down with knee injuries as the season's gone long, and Newman will come in with a 12-14 overall mark and a conference record of 6-12.
Yeah, Arkansas Fort Smith has not had kind of season it envisioned, even though they're still at the top of the heap in the conference. You know, Lubbock Christian's been by far the best squad this year, but you look at the next best teams, and Fort Smith would be one of those who has a chance to repeat as conference tournament champions here in Tulsa at the UMAC. I think they've lacked a little bit offensively, the scoring punch they had last season, but how will they come out and play? Could be emotional, because their head coach, Lewis Horton, after 30 years at Arkansas Fort Smith, going back to its junior college days, has decided to hang up his coaching whistle after this season ends.
Caitlin Buttram finds Bobby Chitsey for the layup, and the lead is 45. Fort Smith an advantage here in terms of their depth. Of course, you have to win 3 games in 4 days to take the Heartland Conference crown. 13 Fort Smith players average 9 minutes or more. Buttram picks up the foul here. But to your point, Fort Smith averaging just under 71 points a game. And typically, they've been able to score more than that, just 37% from the floor and 31% from beyond the arc. Newman's going to want to slow it down, kind of grind you out, averaging 60 a game.
Yeah, they're going to want that game probably played in the 50s if they're going to have a chance to win by game's end.
Chitsey picks up the foul. 73-28 the score, 5:49 to go in the fourth. And let's go to our man on the sideline, and Drew Brent.
Well, guys, you know, you were talking earlier about the depth of this team, and as I'm looking at the sidelines, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing every single one of these players coaching up, encouraging, which tells us that this team has really bought into the philosophy that Coach Gomez has brought to this team, and you would have to think that beyond X's and O's, that's definitely got to be a contributing factor to why this team is ranked #1.
Well, no doubt, and two, what we were mentioning as well, thank you, Drew, about how these players buy in. I mean, they're all stars on the high school level, and yet you're not going to find a player, and even after Nicole Hampton leaves this season, I don't think you're going to find a player that's going to average 18, 20 points. You're going to have similar depth and the teamwork that is needed to spread the wealth around, as they say.
That's such a close-knit community there in the Lubbock Christian campus. They're all seemingly really good friends, too, if you just look at it on the surface when you go to watch them play at the Rip Griffin Center in Lubbock.
Steve Gomez has built this powerhouse. They were powerhouse in NAIA, making it to the national semis in 2012, and those are at least their expectations in 2016 and their first NCAA tournament. Foul on the drive by Tess Bruffy. 73-30. And so UT Permian Basin will leave the Heartland Conference, but with much success on the women's basketball level, although, of course, this season a struggle for them, making it to the title game last year and also in 2013. Schneider, inside Chitsey, got it blocked by Shanna Taylor. And the ball taken away by LeGrand. Taylor off the mark. Schneider the board. Well, we haven't seen Nicole Hampton in a while, and doubt we will see her down the stretch. So double-double for her, another one, 13 points, 10 boards, and with a team-high 6 assists. Lubbock Christian, 53% shooting, and they up that mark just a bit on the Chitsey layup.
Yeah, good-looking post move there by Bobby Chitsey on the interior for Lubbock Christian. We talk about the bigs that can score on the inside for them, and Schneider's not going to be a player who will get you 12 to 15 points a game necessarily, but she can do that as well.
With Lubbock Christian losing all their seniors after this year, I can imagine they'll still be picked to win the Heartland next year because of players like Chitsey and others who we've seen contribute today.
Well, as you well know in collegiate athletics, the next preseason prognostications are based on what you just did last year, no matter what your roster is.
Yeah, even with all the turnover they'll have. Yeah, Tess Bruffy, a sophomore. Chitsey, a freshman. Tato, another three. And makes it 75-33. Tato's up to 16 points now, and most of her points coming this quarter. Zaboa Jr. Harbin Harris Jr. So, I mean, no surprise, future bright. Although Lubbock Christian thinking about 2016 and getting to that NCAA championship game.
They do lose a lot, but the well is not dry at all by any stretch.
Under 3 minutes left here in game number 1. Again, Fort Smith and Newman, game 2. 3 versus 6 and approximately 5 will pit A&M International and St. Edwards, and then the nightcap, 4 versus 5, St. Mary's and Oklahoma Christian. Scott Gomez bringing in a fresh 5, but first a timeout. 2:48 left. Lubbock Christian on to the semifinals.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
(75-33), Lubbock Christian with the lead on the strength of 53% shooting. Points in the paint favoring the Lady Chaparrals 48-6, and points off turnovers 24-4. And it'll be win number 307 in Steve Gomez's college coaching career, his 13th season. In fact, His teams have won 20 games or more for 6 straight years after going 19-12 in 09-010, which of course isn't bad either. His teams have been over 500 every season at Lubbock Christian, and they're about to go 27-0 with this victory here today.
Well, with all the 20-plus win seasons, I don't even remember 19-12, and I was covering Rogers State that year and saw them play Lubbock Christian. I've seen them beat Lubbock Christian, but it's been few and far between for a lot of teams in the same conference as Lubbock Christian. It's hard to pick up wins, especially on the road at third place.
Rogers State will be part of this tournament next season. Not official, but expected, as they complete their transition from NAIA, as Permian Basin will head to the Lone Star Conference. And so we will have 9 tournament eligible teams next season as well. Coming up to the 2-minute mark. And a steal. Claire Bruffy in traffic will back it out. Zabo tips the rebound. Olivia Robertson with it. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Kayla White. Millett to check in with 1:45 to go. Lowest point total allowed this season by Lubbock Christian, 34. Permian Basin with 33, and 11 of those this quarter. Zabo to the rim in the block by White. Tato on the bench, 16 points to lead the Falcons, almost half their points. Gordon off the mark. And the outlet feed to Allie Harris. Finds Zabo.
Harris could have taken that herself, but again, unselfish play from Lubbock Christian, finding the open teammate.
I think Gordon was anticipating the long arms of Zabo and was long on the rebound. Under a minute to go. Pass inside, knocked out of bounds by Millett. So we'll see Lubbock Christian again at noon on Saturday. Our 3rd quadruple header here in Tulsa. Women's quarterfinals today, men's quarters tomorrow. And then the semis for both the women and men on Saturday, and the championship game on Sunday, 1 o'clock for the women and approximately 3:30 for the men. To wrap things up here from the UMAC. 12 to shoot, 42 seconds left. Allie Harris. Rebound, Harbin. Another chance. Zabo finishes this one off. Stoppage of play. As we wrap things up, 79-33 the score. And so best of luck to Permian Basin and their women's basketball program as they move on to the Lone Star. They've been valuable members of the Heartland, again, making it to the tournament championship game twice since 2013. Rough sledding for them this season. They'll finish the year 6-22 overall, 2-17 in the Heartland if you include this loss here today. 12 to shoot. Antoinette Rocco. Or rather, LeGrand with the basketball. They don't get the shot off. And so Lubbock Christian, kind of a sluggish start. And then once they made their push late in the first quarter, too much for Permian Basin to overcome, as it has been for 27 Lubbock Christian opponents today.
Yeah, that's the kind of play we expected them from the start. But in a new environment, you know, they came in here a little bit sluggish shooting the basketball. I thought acclimated themselves really well in that second half. And that's the kind of Lubbock Christian team that we're going to see throughout the rest of this tournament. The question now becomes, can someone else in the Heartland Conference match what they put out. We'll find out.
Well, no one has so far. Lubbock Christian, 50% shooting, 7 of 21 from beyond the arc, holding Permian Basin to 22% shooting. Rebounds plus 13 in favor of Lubbock Christian. Points off turnovers 24-4. Dominant in every way. Lubbock Christian moves on to the semifinals of the Heartland Conference Women's Basketball Tournament with a 79-33 victory over Texas Permian Basin. For Sean Team and Drew Brennan, our entire crew, I'm David Salzman. Don't take too long of a break because we have game 2 of this tournament beginning at approximately 2:30. The 2 seed Fort Smith and the 7 seed in Newman. Until then, so long from the UMAC in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Heartland Conference. Get in the game. Heartland Conference. Get in the game.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of coming to LCU is priceless. I mean, you get to work around professionals who love you dearly, who love what they're doing, and to put those two together, you can't put a price on it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
We are here today in the Rip Griffin Center at the men's and women's basketball games, and we presented a wish to Angel Martinez. We brought him in as our guest. Throughout the whole game, we would have little contests and things that he would win. Our first surprise was to do a name drawing, and then he got a signed basketball from our basketball players. Our second surprise for Angel was he got to go on the court and drive a remote control car into each Star Wars figure, and every one that he hit, he got a prize. And then his final surprise was a fake costume contest, which it was actually his wish reveal that we got to grant him.
So, everybody thinks this is a costume contest, but it actually isn't. We're actually here for someone much more special to us. So, that special someone is Angel Martinez. You're going to Legoland!
The best part about this is that all of the athletes and a lot of the community here at LSU get to come together and work really hard to raise this money just so that we can make someone's day extremely special.
When you meet a St. Mary's graduate, when you meet anybody that has any sort of involvement with St. Mary's, you'll see that they're all good people. In fact, they're great people that care about the community, that care about what they do on a daily basis. And I'm proud to have had the opportunity to attend a university that cares so much about community, about students, and really does give back in a way that can't be matched around the nation.
Sportsmanship is defined as the conduct and attitude of participants in sports, especially when considered commendable as in fair play, courtesy, and grace in winning or losing.
Sportsmanship is a key value found within St. Edward's University Athletic.
How do you play?
Fairness,
Honesty.
respect. Playing sports gives us
Character.
Friendship.
Strength. Respect the players.
Respect the coaches.
Respect the officials.
respect the game.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are St. Edward's University.
We respect the game. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
The first step to discovering the world starts by discovering who you are and who God created you to be. You have the potential to change the world by learning how to serve the world. We can show you how. Dallas Baptist University, developing servant leaders, transforming lives.
You are a collection of moments, ambition, lessons, and ideas. Learning isn't buildings or borders. It goes beyond the classroom to places you never imagined. What you do with it makes all the difference in the world. Discover a more dynamic you, a more employable you. Discover the international you at Texas A&M International University.
The academics at LCU, they're very strenuous, but they're worthwhile.
I would honestly say that the academics are top-notch. Being in small classrooms and getting to have those personal relationships with your professors really enhances the academic environment and academic experience. It's very easy to learn when you have professors who genuinely know you and genuinely care about your growth intellectually.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Okay, it's just good chance for us finally playing postseason after a few years or not. And these two girls sacrificed a year of school to stay. In the last two seasons, we've had good regular seasons, but that was it. And I feel like it's just fun to play again in the postseason. It's a good conference. We had a good regular season, but every game's tough. We knew today we had to come play well. We want to play well every game. And so today was just a game we got a chance to play everybody. Played pretty well defensively. I felt offensively at times we were a little disjointed. Defensively, we were pretty solid. And then late, they had a good run out. And they had hit some threes on us late. We lost her. We just want to play well every possession. And so no matter what the game situation is, we want to play good possessions. So I thought we did that for the most part today.
Well, there's actually only about 4 of us that have ever played postseason on our team before, so we're just coming in really excited and just excited to have this journey and hopefully continue it game by game.
Yeah, I guess for me, like, it kind of just felt like another game, you know, and then you go in the locker room and, you know, Coach Gomez wrote, like, postseason on the board, and I'm like, oh man, it's postseason, like, we haven't had this in a while, so it was really exciting to play, you know, again. I mean, it's super nice. So like we walked out there. I mean, you know, not much, you know, fans or anything like that. But I mean, we had like a ton of fans from ours, which is always great that we have so many supporters.
Let me see if there's someone there.
It was fun to play out there.
Yeah, really got a good tournament feel from the time the whole setup. I mean, again, you guys have done a great job creating a good environment, and we want to experience every minute of it if we can. We'd like to see how long we can play here and get from start to finish, see what happens. But yeah, really good setup. But part of our problem maybe yesterday, we didn't come into our shoot around. We didn't get in town in time, so that may have attributed to our abysmal free throw shooting. So hopefully we'll improve on that in the coming days.
Yeah, I think we all enjoy this tournament feeling, and having the whole teams in the same hotel is kind of fun too. So, and the social last night, that was.
It's a good conference of camaraderie. I mean, we have great respect for every one of these coaches and players. So some conferences may not be able to stay together at the same place, but I feel like we've got a pretty good situation.
Coach talked about being the #1 team coming into the tournament, and also #1 team in Division II, and just pressure and how you prepare your team for that going into a conference tournament.
Well, hopefully we, the girls had a lot of goals set to begin the year, and those numbers don't mean anything when the game starts. We don't get extra points, and so we got to start from the first possession and play. Really not worried. We talk about pressure a lot of times. Those situations come in. We want to continue to think if we play well, we want that to be pressure on the other team, because we just have to keep playing to a high level, and hopefully the other teams feel pressure to play better than they usually do. But these girls are mature. I mean, they've been through a lot of battles. They don't look like it, but they're very mature girls. They play mature. They live mature. So in life, there's a lot more pressure than basketball. So hopefully we can deal with it.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right, we got UTPB, Shauna Taylor, and Coach, you want to start with a statement and then we'll open it up to questions.
Well, it's a great team. It's a great team we face today, and it's the third time we've seen them. And the one thing I know is that they focus on their hunger since day one. And a lot of teams, when you're that good, you can get complacent, and they still play the same way they played in October. So a lot of people will probably end up with the same fate we had tonight when they see that team.
Obviously, like you said, really good team that you faced. You already faced them 2 times this year. What did you
Well, early we really tried to take away Hampton, at least take her out of just being able to set up their offense any way she wanted to. But in order to do that, you have to make baskets so that you can force a big to inbound it, and then maybe you could trap her and then slow them down a little bit. I thought it was effective early. Then we just stopped making baskets. And when she gets the ball in her hands, they're just magical. Everybody she passes to seems to make the shot. And so what can you do? What can you do? But that was our initial plan going into it. Try to take that out of her hands, make them work a little bit, try to box them out. But once she got the ball in her hands, she's really tough to do.
Coach, can you take a minute and just address and talk about the format of the tournament, with 8 teams, and how you feel about that?
Well, I really think it's great. We've been fighting for it for a long time since I got here, trying to get it, and it's good. It's rare that it's such a separation in 1 and 8 as it was this year. I've seen a lot of 8 seeds be pretty decent. I've seen a lot of 1 seeds not be the #1 team in the country. So I think, especially on the men's side, and 2 through 7 here is going to be, who knows what's going to happen. I just love the parity, and I think the conference is good enough now where you should have 8 teams in there because anybody can win it most years. This year may be a little different because Lubbock Christian is so stout, but they got a couple people out there can challenge them. I think A&M can challenge them. I think Fort Smith has athletes to challenge them a little bit. So I look forward to seeing what happens, but I really enjoy the fact that we have 8 teams now in the Heartland, and I hate leaving it.
mean, I think we worked for this all year to get here, so it's always enjoyable. The outcome isn't what we wanted, but I mean, it's what you live for. You play basketball for, so you want to come here and you want to try to win and enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, same thing what my teammate just said, just coming out and competing and just along the way enjoying the experience as well. You know, we didn't want to lose, but you know, it's just the whole journey, the whole experience. We just wanted to compete our best, and you know, it is what it is.
Thank you.
Celebrate the soggy shows and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last of a lifetime kind.
All right, everyone's next.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Heartland Conference. Get in the game. Heartland Conference. Get in the game.
I'm getting a lot for my money here at LCU.
The value of coming to LCU is priceless. I mean, you get to work around professionals who love you dearly, who love what they're doing, and to put those two together, you can't put a price on it.
I think the most valuable thing about LCU is that I'm receiving an excellent education, but I'm also being spiritually guided through that education.
If a student is on the fence about coming to LCU, this place is one that will change your life forever.
Believe, belong, be blue at Lubbock Christian University.